Welcome back to the episode of Beer, Bacon, and Bros. Tonight it is time for us to pick, unbelievably, Week 5 of college football. I mean, it is flying by.
It really
right
is.
now. In the spirit, I wore my Colt Brennan jersey. Shout out to the Big 15 up above. R.I.P. Colt Brennan. So if you don't know, you need to look him up. Google it, baby. He was arguably one of the best passers in all of college football. An absolute legend for the Hawaii Warriors.
Should have won the Heisman that year.
Should have won a Heisman. So,
Should have won the Heisman that year.
We've done a video on that. If you'd like to, it's right here. So
He was a Troy Smith thing? They give it Troy Smith?
Yeah. Yep. So
Bump that.
Yeah, bump Troy Smith. What an absolute bomb. So before we get into it, though, as always, we appreciate you hitting that subscribe button for us. We are growing the channel, and totally free to you. Means a lot to us right now. We always welcome you in our comments, no matter what you have to say. And as always, we appreciate you liking the videos and sharing it with anyone you think would find interesting. So the pick'ems continue, Week 5. After 4 weeks, I can't believe I'm saying this. You are in the lead.
Let's go.
Only by one over Alex. So 26-13, 25-14, 24-15, and Adam 3 games back of you right now at 23-16. So Adam in dead last, but to figure out what we've decided on for the punishment for this season, because we haven't really made that up yet, but there will be some type of punishment from what I hear. So jumping into Week 5, obviously we don't have Alex and Adam. They haven't been able to really turn in their picks because they kind of told us late that they aren't going to be able to make it tonight. A lot going on, Hurricane Ian, blah, blah, blah. So
A bunch of different things right now.
it's just going to be you and me tonight, but we'll go through, line out our picks, and before the football starts, Adam and Alex will turn in their picks, and so we'll take them into next week with us. So 10 games as always. Starting it out this week, this is actually a Friday night game, 10:30 Eastern kick, so 7:30 their time. Number 15 Washington, who's 4-0, is going to not ranked, 4-0 UCLA Bruins though, playing over there in the Rose Bowl.
Where they can't get but 10,000 people.
Yeah, I know. Washington going to be a 3-point favorite for this game.
You know, after last year and seeing Washington's debacle, they've really turned it around. You know, I mean, which is surprising considering they had, who was it, Chris Peterson? Who was
Yes.
the guy from Boise
Used
State.
to be from Boise State.
Yeah, I mean,
retired now.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously the new coach has come in and done something really big. I mean, he's done well. He's got those kids motivated to do something. I'm gonna stick with the Huskies. I think even though they're going on the road, when UCLA can't get but 5,000 people in the Rose Bowl, I don't think there's going to be much of a home field advantage, and I think Washington's going to come through with that win.
Yeah, this is hard for me because Washington hasn't played on the road yet this year. I want to take Washington so bad just because I do think Michael Pendex Jr. has actually completely changed this team. It's a spread offense. He can throw the ball down the field, which is what they didn't have last year. Their defense has played well. I mean, they gave up 22 to Stanford. They gave up 28 to Michigan State, 20 to Kent State. So they give up points. And UCLA can put it up, right? They're averaging 45 points a game right now over there at UCLA. So I feel like this is such a great even matchup. The 3-point line is probably, accurate for it. So, man, this is so tough.
Well, and just to say, the 28 points they gave to Michigan State also came late in that game when they had already brought out most of their starters.
Yeah, I mean,
Washington was up 30-0. So,
yeah,
I mean,
I want to say, I think you're right. Well, yeah, I mean, Michigan State scored 20 points in the final, quarter and a half of their 28.
Yeah. So I mean, Washington kept Michigan State in check. Not saying Michigan State's not the same team as they were last year.
Absolutely not.
But at the time, they were ranked 15th, and they gave up most of the points came in late in the second half. So
you know what? I'm taking UCLA.
Go for it.
I am. I'm going to take UCLA. I want to see Washington prove it on the road, and so I'm going to go with the Bruins for this one. So next game, right on cue with talking about Michigan State. It's actually going to be the Michigan Wolverines and Iowa. A little bit of
it's going to be a trap game.
It's going to be a trap game. That's exactly what I think people are thinking here. Iowa 3-1. They've scored 17 points a game. But they're only allowing 5.8 points a game, right? Michigan coming in, they're averaging 50 points a game. They played nobody outside of Maryland, and Maryland actually gave them a little bit of a run for their money. So number 4 Michigan, who's 4-0, Iowa 3-1 at home. Right now, that line started at 9, has gone all the way up to 10.5. People have been hammering Michigan right now.
I mean, they're a good team. I think I'm going to go Michigan. I'm going to go Wolverines on this one.
I'm going to go Michigan too, just because I don't know that I can trust Iowa to even put up enough.
Bless you.
I don't know that I can trust Iowa to put up enough. Sorry,
Bless you.
Dash. Crap. I don't know that I can trust Iowa enough to put up points.
They'll put up 14 in their first 2 games.
Yeah, they put
only one touchdown.
They're averaging 17 points a game right now. So
all that came in the last game, then.
yeah, I know. So for me, I'm just gonna. I've got to go with Michigan here. SEC battle, noon. Can't believe this is at noon. Such a great matchup. Honestly, probably could have even and should have been College Game Day. Number 7 Kentucky, who's 4-0, going to number 14 Ole Miss, who's also 4-0. This game, Ole Miss favored 6.5 at home.
You and I discussed this game earlier when I was discussing my pick'ems for this week, or our college fantasy picks this week. And this is a tough game for me because seeing the way that Kentucky's been playing and how well they have played, I don't know, man. I mean, I like what Ole Miss is doing. I like how Ole Miss has been playing. I don't know, man. What do you think about this game?
I'm taking Kentucky.
Really?
I've been on the Kentucky train for a while now, and I think that Kentucky plays old school football where they like to run the football and play defense, and they haven't let me down yet, and I'm going to stick with them. Ole Miss is a hard place to play. A lot of rowdy people, great tailgate scene at the Grove, but for a nooner, the atmosphere isn't quite what it would be for a night game. And so I think Kentucky can get on the road. They've already gone to Florida and beaten Florida.
Yeah, but Florida's not that good.
No, I think Ole Miss is certainly better on offense, but I would say Florida's defense is better than Ole Miss. So I think it might even out for me on that one. Where Kentucky might be able to put up more points, they may give up more points than they did to Florida. So, got to be a homer, right? Ole Miss is your team, dude.
I know they are. I know, and I mean, Lane Kiffin with a quarterback. I mean, he always produces.
Jackson Dart's a good quarterback. If you don't know who Jackson Dart is,
look him up.
Look him up. It's a good quarterback.
Give me the Rebs.
All right. Alrighty, so that's an Ole Miss for you. Sweet, let's do it. So, on to the next one. They've already beaten Texas. Can they beat number 25 Kansas State now? The Texas Tech Red Raiders 3-1 on the road at number 25 Kansas State, who's 3-1.
Kansas State big win against Oklahoma.
Big win against Oklahoma. They did lose to Tulane early in the season, so that's a little bit of a disappointment. The Red Raiders, so far, they've beaten the crap out of Murray State. They have upset number 25 Houston in double overtime. They did lose at NC State only 27-14. And then at home last week, they beat the number 22 Texas Longhorns 37-34 in overtime. Kansas State currently an 8-point favorite at home.
Kansas State plays good defense at home. I mean, they play very good defense. I don't know much about Kansas State this year. I mean, Texas Tech has been looking really good though.
Yeah, Texas Tech, 36.5 points a game, 25 given up. Kansas State, 31.3, 15 given up. Adrian Martinez from Nebraska has really fit in well behind what used to be Skylar Thompson's offense here at Kansas State. And I'll tell you, I think Martinez has been great on the ground, which I think is what Kansas State has really built their built them, their offense based off of. But we'll see. I'm gonna take Kansas State. I'll go ahead and go first. So I'll take K-State on this one. I've been a big K-State fan. I wanted them in our college fantasy league, and I think I'm gonna trust with them here.
I'll go Kansas State at home.
Okay. All right.
I think Kansas State at home with that defense that they play at home, and I agree with you. I think the quarterback from Nebraska has done very well.
Adrian Martinez.
Yeah, I think he's done very well.
Yeah, he's fit in really well behind what Skylar Thompson did last year at Kansas State. Skylar Thompson so good that he was undrafted, but made the Miami Dolphins roster. So They can breed them over there. Big SEC matchup again. Number 17 Texas A&M Aggies, 3-1, going on the road to Mississippi State, 3-1 as well. Mississippi State's only loss at LSU. Obviously, the Aggies' loss was against App State at home, but now back-to-back top 15 wins for Texas A&M over Miami and Arkansas.
Yeah.
Who you taking here?
I don't know. I bet against Texas A&M last week, man. I took Arkansas.
Mississippi State is actually a 4-point favorite at home over number 17.
Mississippi State's been playing well. I think Texas A&M does have a lot of weakness. I mean, I think the quarterback change definitely helped them coming out of that loss to App State.
Yeah, Max Johnson has looked good for A&M.
He couldn't get any worse than what they were doing.
Yeah.
But man, Mike Leach's offense, man. That air raid with the old Jolly Roger. What's with
Will Rogers?
Will Rogers, yeah. Give me the Bulldogs.
I'm taking them too.
Give me the Bulldogs at
I'm
home.
taking them too.
I've
since I pulled this matchup, I knew who I was going to take, and so I was just curious if anyone else was going to have it with me. And I'm telling you right now, Mississippi State, Will Rogers. Will Rogers has thrown 16 touchdowns to 3 interceptions in literally just 4 games this year. He's averaging 4 touchdowns a game right now. So he's fitting in perfect with Mike Leach's air raid scheme. I'm a big fan of the Pirates, so I'm going to ride with him.
I mean, I just really think, I think A&M is very vulnerable, especially you get them away from home. I think they're vulnerable.
Yeah. Well, not going far from the SEC matchup, number 2 Alabama, number 20 Arkansas. This is a 3:30 game. Alabama 4-0, Arkansas 3-1. Alabama is a 17.5-point favorite on the road at Arkansas.
Roll Tide.
Yeah?
Roll Tide.
No hesitation at all?
Mm-hmm. Regular season, Alabama doesn't lose, man.
Man, I mean, their only other road game this year was at Texas, and they look bad. They look bad at Texas. Oh, wow. I'm with you. I'm going to take Bama. I'm going to tell you, I think this is a close game one way or the other. I actually wanted to take Arkansas. I just think that Bama's defense is stout enough to stop the run of Arkansas and actually make them one-dimensional. And KJ Jefferson is not a good enough thrower to throw his way in.
But that's what I'm saying.
I 17.5 blows my mind. I think Arkansas keeps us within 5.
I wouldn't say 5. I would say probably about the 10-point range, 8 to 10.
I think Arkansas keeps us within 5.
I mean, I just think Alabama's defense is fast enough and stout enough to contain that run game and be able to make them a one-dimensional team, make KJ Jefferson beat you, and they have the corners to go out there and just pick him off.
Okay. One of my favorite matchups of the day: number 9 Oklahoma State at number 16 Baylor. Another 3:30 matchup. Oklahoma State 3-0, Baylor 3-1. Baylor's a 2.5-point favorite at home.
So they're not even getting the full 3 points.
Yeah. Shiloh Sanders is thrown for 916 yards, 10 touchdowns, 1 interception. Blake Shapen is thrown for 770.
Shiloh Sanders like Deion's kid?
No, it's not Shiloh Sanders. Sorry, it's Wait, what is the kid's name? Sanders is Spencer Sanders.
Okay.
Yeah, Spencer Sanders. Sorry.
Deion's kid went to Oklahoma State?
Deion's kids are at Jackson State with him.
Yeah,
So
until he takes that job at Georgia Tech.
Baylor's quarterback Chapman, though, 773, 7 touchdowns, 1 interception. So 2 interceptions total between the 2 starting quarterbacks in this team. This game.
I don't know. I picked Baylor, what was it, a week ago, 2 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago.
Yeah. And
3 weeks ago, BYU.
And BYU beat them. I mean, Oklahoma State was on the verge of becoming a playoff team last year.
Yeah. I know which one I'm taking, so I'm going to wait for you to say this.
Give me the Cowboys.
All right. I'm taking Oklahoma State as well. I'm telling you right now, I'm a big Oklahoma State fan this year. I actually
It looked good.
I don't know that we've ever done. We didn't do any videos on the pre-picking of conferences in college football, which we should have done. I have been telling people for months now, Oklahoma State will win the Big 12. I know people are on Texas. I know people are on Oklahoma. Oklahoma State will win.
I'd be on Texas if Quinn Ewers hadn't gotten friggin' hurt.
True. So, number 22, Wake Forest, 3-1 on the road at number 23. I can't believe they're back in the top 25, but 4-0.
Dude, Florida State has been looking good too.
Yeah.
I mean, look what they did to Louisville with the backup quarterback coming out there throwing dimes.
Yeah, 35-31 win at Louisville this past week, 44-14 at home over Boston College, averaging over 500 yards a game on offense for Florida State.
They got a good run game. Both quarterbacks are solid. What's the line on this? 7?
This is a 7-point favorite for Florida State.
Wake coming off that disappointing loss to Clemson.
Heartbreaking, man.
That game that they had.
At home, too.
Ooh, this is tough. This is a tough matchup. It's a good matchup, too.
Yeah. A lot of good games this week.
It's a good matchup. Give me the Noles at home.
Yeah. I will actually be taking Wake. That's why I wanted to wait to see what you did there. But I'm telling you right now, I think Florida State's played well. They've gotten away with a win at LSU, in New Orleans that they shouldn't have won. I think Louisville is unfortunately not a great team this year. So to pick up that win at Louisville was impressive.
You did take Louisville in that game, by the way.
I know I did. I've had to give up on Louisville because honestly, I think if you watch Louisville play football, it's like they've given up on their season too, and we're only 4 weeks into this. Boston College is not a great team this year. So the way I watched Wake play with Clemson last week, I have faith in Wake.
Oh, I think Wake can put up the points, but I think Florida State can also put up those points.
Yeah. Going into our next to last matchup, the West Virginia Mountaineers at Texas. Both teams 2-2. They're 0-1 in the Big 12 play. West Virginia has lost the first 2 games to Pitt and Kansas, then beaten Townsend and then at Virginia Tech. Texas beaten UL Monroe and UTSA, but has lost to Texas Tech and Alabama. Texas is actually a 10-point favorite at home, though.
Matt, this is something that you and I discussed earlier, so I want to see what your take is on this before I make my call.
I'll go first. I'll say this. West Virginia has beaten Texas. I would willing to guess, I don't know the actual stat on it, I'm willing to guess 4 of the last 6 times these 2 teams have meeting.
Yeah.
But I think this is a redemption year for Texas. They're at home. They played some tough competition. I think Pitt's a good team. Kansas has obviously been somehow a good football team. But Virginia Tech, not that impressive. Townsend, not that impressive. UTSA is a better team than Va-Tech or Townsend. And Texas walked away with a 41-20 win in that. So I am going to take the Longhorns. I'm going to ride and die with them my whole life probably, but they are also 3-1 against the spread this year. So give me the Longhorns for this one.
What was Quinn Ewers' injury?
Was it a fractured collarbone?
Did it end up being a fracture?
He's not back. I can tell you that. It will be Hudson Card starting for him.
Yeah, hook 'em horns.
Okay. All right. Well, our matchup of the week. It's also College Game Day's matchup of the week. It will be the NC State Wolfpack, number 10, who's 4-0, going to number 5 Clemson, 4-0 at Clemson. 7:30 on Saturday. Currently, we'll see how the weather for Hurricane Ian affects this because
they played Notre Dame in the hurricane. They'll play NC State in the hurricane too.
I know. So. We'll see how it does end up affecting this game, but it is currently a 7:30 on Saturday game. So, and College Game Day is still scheduled to be there. But NC State at Clemson. Clemson is a 6.5-point favorite at home against the NC State Wolfpack.
I went Clemson last week, almost only because knowing that thinking that Wade was going to win the game, and I still went with Clemson. Obviously it worked out for me in the long run, but. Give me the Pack. I think the Pack's got their number again. They beat them last year. I think they're going to do it again this year. Going to make them. Yeah, with the way NC State's been playing, they've been playing very well. Clemson's been so vulnerable, and I think Wake Forest did nothing but show their vulnerability last week in that game when they just torched their DBs the entire game.
Yeah, I'm interested because NC State doesn't give up a whole lot of rushing yards, and I think Clemson has found their groove running the football the last couple of weeks, and that's really how they move the football down the field on Wake. Wake, of course, in my opinion, a much better throwing team than NC State. Kept themselves in the game. So as much as I hate to do it, and I went with Wake last week because I thought Wake could throw the ball on Clemson, move it down the field, win those big plays, and they did. They just didn't finish the game. I actually think that Wake matched up better with Clemson than NC State currently does. And you give Clemson a home night game like this, for me, it sucks to do it, but I gotta go Clemson on this one, unfortunately.
So
yeah. So all right, well that will wrap up our week 5 picks for college football. We'll get those picks in from Adam and Alex, and we'll give you an update on the standings. As always, we appreciate you hitting us in the comments. Let us know whether you think we're crazy, whether you disagree, or totally agree. And as always, we do appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe.